Hi and welcome to class. Today's Vinyasa flow class, we're going to start off on the back, waking up the back body and connecting to the core. So start off in Ardha Savasana. Bring your heels close to your buttock, your feet about hip socket distance apart, which is about 2 fists in between your feet. And then rest your hands at your side with your palms facing up. And just let your body drop into the mat for a moment. So feel your feet descend, your heels, your big toe mounds and your little toe mounds. Feel your thighs drop. Your sacrum, the thick bony part of the top of your butt, drop down, and your shoulder blades in the back of your skull. And just let your breath be spontaneous. Tune into the rhythm of your breath. Slow and steady. And then see if you can start to gradually lengthen your breath without any strain. And so that slow breath is going to help to keep us present and calm throughout the practice, which is important as we're going through these more strenuous poses. Now, press down into your feet and roll your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Roll your spine up, scoop your butt up, and then roll your spine back down. Let your tailbone drop back down. As you inhale, actually come into an arched back position. And as you exhale, roll your tailbone up to the ceiling, roll your buttocks to the backs of your knees, and see if you can roll yourself up one vertebra at a time, rolling towards your back ribs. And then roll your lumbar spine back down into the ground, let it arch. And then last one, roll your tail up, roll up to your spine. And now let's roll up a little bit higher and start to engage the backs of the legs. So contract your hamstrings, contract your glutes, but soften your groins down towards the ground. So your upper inner thighs, as your legs engage, can you release the groins down and then contract the hamstrings and engage the glutes, firm the buttocks towards the backs of the knees. See if you can lift a little bit higher without thrusting from the groins, keeping your neck and groins passive. Contract the backs of the legs. Feel the connection from your rib cage to your pelvis. And then maintaining that, take your arms up and slowly reach your arms overhead. Contract hamstrings. Let the shoulders and the neck relax. Bring your arms back down at your side and roll your buttock back down to the ground. Then roll over to your side and come into child's pose. Come up onto your hands and your knees for some cat-cow. Inhale into extension, into the back bend. And as you exhale, round through your spine. 2 more times, flow with your breath. Then stretch into your first downward facing dog. Shift into plank and pull your right knee up to your right elbow. As you inhale, reach up into 3-legged dog. And as you exhale, step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Drop your back knee down to the ground. Then make fists and pull your arms back as you lift your chest up. Let your tailbone sink in and down. Move your left buttock in and down and roll up from your belly up through the front of the spine like you're doing up dog, like you're rolling into extension. And reach the fist back towards the back of your mat. Then bring your hands back down. Lift your back knee up an inch or two. Then stretch your right leg towards straight. Reach through your right inner foot. Let the back body expand with your breath. Rebend your right knee. Plant your hands and reach back into downward facing dog as you raise your right leg up for the three-legged dog. Then shift into plank and roll to the outside edge of your left foot. Now, really tricky, you can keep your right foot up as you go into side plank, or you can drop the knee down as you roll into side plank, or you can just do classic side plank with both feet down and roll in that way. To your call. The tricky one, keeping the leg up the whole time, or some other variation. Now as you hold in your side plank, turn your right palm to face forward, reach the arm overhead and lift up in your waist on your left side. Take a nice deep breath in here to expand the right side body. And then raise your arm back up, downward facing dog, stretch back. Shift into plank and pull your left knee up to your elbow. Inhale, reach back into three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Drop your back knee down to the ground. Make fists and pull your arms back as you drop your tailbone down, move your right buttock flush down, roll up from your navel up to the front of your spine. Your right inner thigh releases back. Then hands back down to the mat. Lift your back knee up an inch or two, and then stretch the left leg towards straight. Rebend your knee. Three-legged dog, plant your hands and stretch back. Then from down dog, turn onto the outside edge of the foot and roll right into side plank, keeping the left leg elevated, or drop the knee, or just bring the feet together. Turn your left palm to face forward, reach the arm overhead as you lift up in your right side waist. Take a deep breath in to expand the left side ribs like gills open up. And then take your arm back up, stretch back into downward facing dog. Shift into plank, pull your right knee up into your chest. Inhale, reach back into three-legged dog, stretch your leg up. Exhale, step your foot up to your thumb. Drop your back knee down. Inhale, raise your arms up. Bring hands to prayer, lean your chest out over your knee, and lift your back leg up an inch. Feel your right heel bone, your right outer hip strong, and now keep a bend in your right knee as you step up into Warrior 3. Feel the right heel, feel the right outer hip strong, Let the sole of the foot open on your right foot and the toes stretch, just like we practiced at the beginning of class in bridge. Bend your knee, step back, bent knee crescent. Lower your back knee as you raise your arms. Lift up through the side ribs, through the armpits. Let the upper trap soften a bit. Bring your hands back down to the mat and step back, three-legged dog. Now bend your right knee, open up your hip to the right, but keep length through your right side waist. From here, turn onto the outside edge of your left foot. Now you could drop your foot behind and then reach back into a modified side plank where you reach over, or you can drop the left knee down and reach up and over. Your call. So the left leg could be straightened out, right big toe tap behind, or you can drop the knee, break it down a little bit, get the opening that way. So whichever level you want to work these side planks is fine today. Then come back to downward facing dog. Bring your hand down, stretch back. Shift into plank, pull your left knee up to your chest. Squeeze your heel up towards your buttock. Inhale, reach back into three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot up to your thumb. Drop your back knee down. Inhale, raise your arms up. Hands to prayer. Lean out over your knee. Load your left heel, left outer hip. Lift the back knee an inch. When the knee comes up, see if you can strong outer hip, can keep your hips level to the ground. Stay in the heel, outer hip as you lean into your leg and raise your back leg. Focus on levelizing, which isn't a word. Focus on leveling the pelvis. Levelize. Feel your breath help to keep you calm, centered. Then bend your knee. Step back into bent knee crescent. Lower your back knee an inch above the ground as your arms come up. Lift up through your side ribs, through your waist, up through your outer armpits. Reach up. Then bring the hands back to the ground. Step back into three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip to the left. As you open up, keep your waist long and your ribs connected. Turn onto the outside edge of the foot and then roll into side plank. As the back foot taps behind you, you'll raise the left arm up and over. As a modification, you'll drop the knee, swivel the foot over, then tap the big toe and reach over. Come back to downward facing dog. Stretch back and hold. Shift to plank. Pull your right knee up to your left elbow. Squeeze your heel up. Try not to let your right shoulder fall forward. Inhale, reach back into three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Now plant your left hand and twist. Take your right arm up. Turn your palm to face forward. Reach overhead. Take your arm back up. Bring fingertips to the ground. Level your hips. Feel your right heel, right outer hip. Bend your back knee a bit, hands to prayer. Warrior 3, round 2. Step up to balance. Then keeping the hips level, turn your heart, turn your rib cage. See if you can tap the right fingertips down. And as you reach your back ribs towards your left hand, Open up your chest, open up your heart, and raise the right arm. Step back into bent knee crescent. Lower your back knee, raise your arms up. Then hands to prayer, lean your chest out over your knee again. Hands to the mat, step back. Take a vinyasa or just go right back into downward facing dog. From downward dog, shift to plank and pull your left knee up to your right elbow. Inhale, reach back, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot up by your thumb. Plant your right hand and twist. Raise your left arm up. Feel your left heel. Feel your left outer hip and buttock. Track the hip and buttock with the heel as you lengthen through your twist. Then bring the fingertips down. Bend the back knee. Hands to prayer. Feel heel and outer hip again. Lean into your leg. Step into bent knee Vira 3. As you level your hips and lengthen, turn the back ribs down to lower the right fingertips to the ground. Open up your heart, turn your heart, take your arm up. You can bend the left knee as much or as little as you need depending on your hamstring, hip, buttock, back body, spine flexibility. Then bring the fingertips back down, step back into bent knee crescent. Hands to the mat. Take a vinyasa or just go right back into downward facing dog, your call. Look between your hands, step walk or hop to the front. And as you inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, take all your length and fold deeper. Reach down through your feet. Inhale, spread your arms and come up. Now press through your heels. Spin your groins back, and as your buttock lengthens down towards the ground, lift your heart up, reach up. And then come to neutral. Arms to your side, hands to prayer, Samastiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find some length. Now bend your knees, squat down, Malasana, or you can hook your knees into your outer arms, lean into Bakasana. When you're done, find your way back into Malasana. Then one more time, plant your hands, see if you can lean into it. Crow pose, or work a deeper Malasana, your call. 5 more breaths. When you're finished with your crow or your Malasana, make your way to seated. Plant your feet down. And so we've been working lately, because you take every single class that I teach, on rolling down to the lumbar spine. If you want to have a really strong core, you should have a really healthy lumbar spine. A lot of neck issues can be addressed through the lumbar spine because they tend to mirror each other. So if you have a lot of neck pain, make your core healthier and it'll start to get better. With your hands to the backs of your knees, let's roll down onto the sacrum, then onto the lowest lumbar, the second lowest lumbar, third, fourth, fifth, which actually you count it the other way, and then roll yourself back up and sit up tall. Roll yourself down. Use your hands if needed to help control the movement. Roll down slowly through the lumbar. And then if it's difficult to come back up with control, put your feet underneath a couch or something. See if you can roll back up. Everybody should work towards doing this. It's a really important movement to be able to do. And if you feel like parts want to move in chunks, those are the areas you need to slow down through. Now let's roll to the back bottom ribs and stretch the arms back. See if you can hold that position and then roll back up. Good, 40 more times. Roll back down. Use the couch or the legs, whatever you need. Find your back ribs, hold there, stay in the little crunch, arms reach back, come back up. Now hold in the up position in boat. Rock back, balance in between your tailbones and sit bones and tailbone. Hold your legs up, or with the knees down, bring your hands to prayer and twist, bring your right elbow to the ground. Imagine you're squeezing a little ball between your knees. Then change sides. Bring the left elbow. Change sides. Change sides. Come back to center. Cross your legs, hands down, lift your buttock up. Hold there or see if you can lift one or both feet up off the ground. Lower your butt down, plant your feet onto the ground. Take your hands a foot behind you, open up your chest, hold here or lift your buttock up, come into reverse plank. Lower your buttock back down. Let's roll through that sequence one more time. Roll down onto your sacrum. Lower back. One vertebra at a time. Hold in the back ribs as the arms stretch back. Control yourself up. Sit tall and roll back. Find the back ribs as the arms reach back. Control it up. 2 more. Last one. Hold in the up position, hands to prayer. Twist to your left. To make it harder, you can bring your knees up, feet up. Change sides. One more round, side to side. Back to center. Cross your legs the other way. Put your hands down. Press down into the hands and lift the buttock up. Hold there or lift one foot up and then the other. Lower your butt down. Plant your feet down onto the ground and take reverse plank. Or just with your hands and feet down, roll your chest open. Then cross your legs, or lower your butt down, cross your legs, and step back, downward facing dog. Shift to plank, pull your right knee up to your right outer armpit. Inhale, reach back into three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot up by your thumb. Turn your back heel down and inhale, come up into warrior two. Turn your palms up. Let your bottom sternum soften back in and down. Your pelvic floor drop down towards the ground as your head balances up on top. Then lean out over your knee. Put your fingertips down onto the ground and take your left arm over. Inhale, come back up, reverse warrior, flip your right palm up, reach up. Then straighten your right leg, reach into triangle pose. Bend your knee and step to balance. Hold here or squeeze your left heel to your buttock and reach back with your hand for your foot. Open up if you're holding your foot. Bend your knee and slide back into triangle pose. Plant your left hand down and bend your right knee. As you spin your back heel up, twist, take your right arm up. Turn onto the outside edges of your feet and hold there. Or take Vashisthasana 1 or 2. Step your right leg back to stack or take your right big toe up. Downward facing dog, stretch back. Shift to plank, pull your left knee to your left outer armpit, slide it up. Inhale, reach back, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot up to your thumb. Turn your back heel down and come up into warrior two. Feel left heel, left outer hip in. As you come up, open up. Turn your palms to face up and notice the tendency to throw your chest forward. Instead, humble the chest and the bottom sternum. Once you soften in and down, see if you can breathe into the whole circumference of your rib cage, the whole 360 degrees, back, front, and sides. Visualize the tissue at the bottom of the rib cage as you inhale, the center stretching down towards your pelvic floor, contracting down rather. And let the roof of your mouth balance over that line as well. Center, bottom, rib cage tissue, pelvic floor, roof of the mouth. Lean out over your knee. Bring your fingertips to the ground or to the block as you reach your right arm over. As the right inner thigh releases back, contract the buttocks towards the heel to bring the left hip back into alignment. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, triangle pose. Bend your knee, step up to balance. Hold an Ardha Chandrasana or bring your right heel towards your buttock and reach back with your hand for your foot. Open back up if you're holding that. Bend your left knee and slide into triangle. Bring your right hand down and spin your back heel up. As you bend your left knee, plant your hand and twist. Turn onto the outside edges of your feet or step your left leg back to stack or take your left big toe up, Vashisthasana 1 or 2. Then step back into downward facing dog. Shift into plank pose. Set your elbows down onto the ground. Press down into your forearms, lift your belly up. Reach your sit bones towards your heels. Then slowly lower your hips down. Inhale into Sphinx pose. Then roll your buttocks down, lift your belly back up, come back into plank on your forearms, and then walk into down dog on your forearms. Now, if you have an inversion practice, you can just practice that now. Work on your handstand, headstand, or forearm balance. Otherwise, as you press your right big toe mound, stretch your left leg up and hold it. Then change legs. Then lower that leg down, one hand at a time. Come up into downward facing dog. Hop to seated or make your way through. Lie down onto your back. Bring your heels close to your buttock and lift up into bridge pose. Lower your hips back down. Take a breath. And then go back up, bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Lower your hips down and open your arms out to the side. Cross your right ankle over your left knee and slowly let your legs fall over to the left. Come back to center and change sides. Come back to center. Hug your knees to your armpits or take happy baby. Then lie down onto your back for Savasana, corpse pose. Place your body so that it can open up and relax. So as you feel the heel bones drop and the thighs rotate open, let the sacrum drop. Take one more deep breath in and let it all the way out. Feel the backs of your knuckles drop down. The elbows drop. Feel the back ribs release down and your shoulder blades fall into the ground. Let the back skull drop down. And just feel how much easier it is to let the distractions pass through. So one of the blessings of the physical practice is that not only does it open up the energy channels in your body so that there's a better flow of life force energy, helping to sustain and energize, but it also helps us to release the charge of whatever we're holding. So that you can just be completely empty and present. Let go of your hopes, let go of your fears. And just be. Then gently bend your knees and roll over to your side. Press yourself up to seated and bring your palms together. Let the light of the awareness shine through into all of your interactions for the rest of the day. Thank you. Namaste. Thanks for joining me for class today. If you're someone looking to deepen or advance your yoga practice, then I'm going to recommend that you try the Conscious Movement Community. The Conscious Movement Community, or the CMC, is a course that I put together for people like yourself who are interested in deepening their practice. So it'll meet you at whatever level you're at in your practice and help you to advance. In addition to that, I post exclusive weekly videos that are a little longer, a little stronger, and I introduce a little more variety with poses and more advanced poses that you'll be able to do through doing the course. Also, I have all my exclusive courses over there, including the arm balance course, the handstand course, the chakra course. I'm always posting new courses. If you want to try it out, you can do it right now for 2 weeks free. So you can click the link right below or in the description to give it a shot. All right, I'll see you next time. Have a good one.